During my Vedic astrology journey and learning, and I'm still learning, I still have teachers that teach me wonderful things about this wonderful science. And I studied mostly Jaimini with my teacher, a teacher called Corey Dowds. I came across him on KRS channel, and he was just, we had the most amazing lessons, and he's just such a wonderful, generous soul. And one of the things he taught me about Jaimini astrology, because the thing is, I just find astrology, Vedic astrology is so interesting, and I learned different techniques from different people. And Corey's very good. Corey and Mark Boney are very, very good at astrology, Jaimini astrology. And I learned most of it from Corey, and I did have the book by Mark Boney, and it is amazing. One of the very, very sweet techniques that Corey Dowd showed me was how you see through people's Atmakaka how brave people are, and also their third house. So cruel planets, malefics in the third house from your Karakamsha or Swamsha. So remember, your Atmakaka is you. And so third house, so if you find out where your Atmakaka is in your D9 or your Navamsha, that becomes your Karakamsha or Swamsha. Then you can read all your charts from there. So for example, if my Atmakaka is in Libra, this would be my highest degree planet, represents me, and is sitting in Libra. So this is completely different to my normal ascendant. This is just Jaimini astrology, and my Atmakaka is sitting in Libra. But in the Navamsha, it has gone into Virgo, for example. And because my Atmakaka in the D9 is sitting in Virgo, so that makes that my Karakamsha or Swamsha. So I can now go back to all my charts and I can read it from Virgo, because Virgo is my Karakamsha or Swamsha. So third houses from that in the D1, if you have a cruel planet, so third houses from Virgo would be Virgo, Libra, Scorpio. So Scorpio is my third house from my Karakamsha. So that will show, if I have a malefic planet in there, in Scorpio, that will show that I'm brave. So if I had Mars there, K2, Rahu, the Sun, or Saturn, they will show, well, actually, probably not really Saturn, but those are the planets that will show that I'm actually brave. And but if they're not, then we can actually see that that person is not really brave. So they're not going to be like, they need to learn about being brave and asking for what they want in life. So the way you see if somebody has what they have in their third house or what's aspect in their third house, you will see, like, so if you have Sun sitting in your third from your Karakamsha, so I said it was Virgo, say for example. So if you have Sun sitting there, Sun will be very straight talker, very authoritative. I would just say it. So if Sun wanted to challenge you, it would just say it. It'll be really direct. And I guess if it was a war, it would just be like, go for you. You know, it's just no messing around. Sun is there. It will just deal with it. If you had Mercury there, Mercury will be uses its intellect or intelligence in order to ask what it wants. So it will actually use words to actually combat. And and particularly it's in Scorpio, so it probably would be harsh words, but it'd be really sort of direct. And if it was K2, and actually in terms of kind of artillery as well that they would use. So in a war, somebody with the sun in the third house will use a knife in a war. If it was like Mercury, will use a staff or branch or something, for example, say. If it was K2, it will use a bomb and it'll just run away. And it'll be a time device because it rules time as well. And doesn't say anything about the issues until the time, and it's just like bang. If it's Saturn, it will be bow and arrow because Saturn will not be brave, so it will go far distance to do it. So with somebody like who's got Saturn in their third house, they will be a little bit passive aggressive, so they would just literally wait until there are other people there, and if they're having a moan, then they get on the conversation and say what they want to say, but they will not be brave and they will not initiate the conversation that, look, you did this and that made me feel like this. So they will be like, wait for the moment and then, or do it from a distance. So they could be, in today's world, they could be trawlers, so they can't tell you directly to your face, or they just, you know, they express themselves like that. And then we have Mars. Mars will be Mars will be the sword or the spear, you know. So they will just say it. They wouldn't think about how, you know, they just, if they didn't like what you said, they're just combative, you know. They say it, and literally will cut you down, you know. So, and then if you have Rahu will use technology as well to, you know, so they probably try and outsmart you if it's Rahu. And if it's Rahu sitting with Mercury, we'll be using technology or something mechanical or a mental way of dealing with it with Mercury. So it could use internet to do it. If it was Venus, if they had an issue with you, they would just do it in a diplomatic manner. So they would just try to resolve it. They'll be really upfront. They will say how you said it, but they will say it really nicely because they actually, what they're trying to do, they're trying to solve the issue. They don't want it to continue, and they can live and let live. They don't need to hold on to those negative feelings. They just let it go. If it was the moon, so if the moon is bright and it's not afflicted and it's got help from friends like Jupiter, so moon will be kind of try to get you to see their viewpoint so that you can actually feel the emotions that it created within them. So this is how the planets that represent how brave we are from the third house of Karakamsha can work. So you can see it and just see, you know, it kind of shows who is direct, who is passive aggressive, who kind of holds on to it. And it's really, really interesting how in the olden days, how the sages saw these cute little things in our charts. And I hope on this channel we can have like resolve things. You know, if hopefully I don't upset you, but if I do ever upset you on anything, you know, email me and let me know. And I'm more than happy to just like, you know, I realise, and you know, I can't sort of have, I don't know, you kind of have your own sort of audience really. So I hope this channel will be like benefit you in somewhat, but you know, but if there are things that you think I can improve, please let me know. But obviously I do kind of think that, you know, kindness is the way forward. I would like to, even if I didn't have, say for example, if you don't have Venus in your third from your Karakamsha, what you can do, you want to sort of like be the person. I think one of the things as well is if you don't have, if say for example you got Saturn sitting in your third from Karakamsha, or it's, you know, it's your planet, soul planet and everything. And these people can actually hold on to a lot of things. So when it comes out, it can actually come out wrong. So, but what we can do, we can actually think what we would like to have third from our Karakamsha and work on that. So when I was reading this, I was thinking, because obviously I did these lessons quite a long while ago, a few years ago. And so I think the best way to deal with it'll be to be direct, but to actually resolve it like Venus. So it's nice to actually imagine I have Sun and Venus in my third from my Karakamsha and try it. That would be my ideal way of dealing with it, because I wouldn't want to, at my age, I don't want to be beaten about the bush. I want to resolve things and I wouldn't want to upset anyone. But so I want it to be fair. I want it to be kind of like, I want mediation, but I also want it to be direct and dealt with and sorted. So I think that is the way I would do it. And I know sometimes, like Mercury can be quite witty, so they can deal with the issue and then just be friends with the person afterwards. I think that's quite cute as well. And Saturn is quite cute as well, in the sense that it doesn't want to upset anyone, but in the process of holding themselves back, they actually can upset themselves. So you don't want to then come out aggressively. So what you want to do then, you just want to just get help from Venus being really helpful to Saturn and actually resolve the issues like that. So although I haven't said it, maybe I should have said that I had this issue with you at that point, but I didn't do it, and I have been reflecting on it, and I think I like to sort this issue this way. So that could be the way to use the Venusian ways and the Saturn ways. And Jupiter could be really quite wise. So, but Jupiter will be good if it's not preaching. So then that way can actually be preaching to the person you're upset. So, but it can be an optimistic one. So it could be a really good Jupiter where it could actually resolve the issue in a really grown-up manner and put a very optimistic and happy twist to it as well. So that could be really nice as well. So this is Jaimini, another little bite of Jaimini, which I found quite sweet. Sign that is your third house is from your Karakamsha. So for example, a Mars in Scorpio will be very different to Mars in Aries, Mars in Cancer, or Mars in Libra. So Mars in Aries will be much more direct, because it's obviously it's a fast-moving sign as well. And then somebody who is the third from their Karakamsha will be Cancer. They will be very careful not to be insensitive, that Mars there. And Mars third from Karakamsha Leo will be very different to the Scorpio one, because the Scorpio one will be probably is kind of emotionally tangled up with what they want to say. So Mars in Libra will be much more self-sacrificing for the others as well. So again, we'll have slightly Venusian feelings to it as well. So you want to kind of blend everything together. Any aspects as well will change the flavor too. I'm going to do my next lesson will be, I will actually reflect on that, on the Jaimini aspects, because they're different, they're sign aspects. The other thing I wanted to say also, these are very important. The third house things are very important for self-expression, telling your partner in relationship, your siblings, your parents, your friends, also at work, telling them express yourself how you feel. So for example, if you feel as though you've been working really hard and you have not been paid the same as everybody else, you want to express that in a manner. So I always find that what really works is kind of trying to imagine what I would like to have in my third from my Karakamsha, because I always like to put like a Venusian twist to it as well. So I wouldn't want to upset the person, but I would also would like them to know. So I still would prefer them to know that is how that's made me feel, and express it that way. So that's probably what I would view as really really good. So that's how I would do. Some people I know who are really great, they use like So that would be, just saying it directly, but in a Venusian way, would be like a sort of Venus in Leo or Sun in Taurus or Libra, for example, third from Karakamsha. But it could be Venus and Mercury. That would be really cute as well, because it'd be very friendly, very, but also wanting to resolve these things. So Mars and Venus will be quite good too. So you always want to just sort of think that, have a look at any kind of aspects as well. And Jupiter and Moon would be beautiful. So yeah, you want to just have a look at all these things. But obviously, malefics will always help you get through. But if you feel as though it's coming through a bit too aggressively, you can work on that. At the end of the day, this is the house of kind of thinking process, isn't it? So you can actually think, how would I want to put my message across to that person? So yeah, and then that is the most important thing in life, isn't it? To get what you want from the relationships and people around you, so that way you're happy and they know what your expectations are. So it's like a fabulous way of actually solving these little issues of relationships and friendships. Thank you for watching, and I'll see